Good afternoon, good morning. We are working on the second part of 2.8 for 7th grade. On the left side of your reading, you should have had key ideas and detail questions. These questions, they should all be answered. They are on the quiz. Before we move on to your next section, I want to make sure that everybody got the reading done. They've annotated, they've used their metacognitive markers throughout, and they've answered the questions. So if you do need more time to finish that, I will pause the video and then we will begin with our after reading questions. The after reading questions, we have number 4 at the bottom. You're going to join another pair, so the two people sitting behind you. It's going to be you and your shoulder partner and the two people sitting behind you to share your understanding and summaries. Then discuss by making connections to your own or others' ideas. To ensure active listening, you may be asked to share an interesting point made by a peer. As a listener, remember to make eye contact with the speaker, take notes, and actively respond with questions or comments. You have your accountable talk sentence frames, which are up in the side of the room. So they are up there at the very, very side. They're on the sentence strips. Make sure you're using those when you're responding. Like this reminds me of, or this makes me think of blah because blah. Use those when you're responding with your group. So you're going to discuss and make connections to your own or others' ideas. To ensure active listening, make sure you use those sentence prompts at the top. Okay, so you're going to be answering that there. Then check your understanding. It says, respond to the following compare and contrast questions. What is one way information from the myth of choice, how junk food marketers target our kids, is like information from marketing to kids gets more savvy with new technologies? Be sure to give at least one detail from both texts in your answer. So number 1, basically this is what you're doing right here. Details from the document and details from the news article. The documentary film was on page 114. It's also on my website if you need to see it again under the 7th grade tab. But that film, you're comparing and contrasting the film with the news article on 116 for this first bullet. Then it says, what is one way for the myth of choice and how junk food marketers target our kids is different information for marketing to kids gets more savvy with new technologies? Be sure to give at least one detail from both texts in your answer. So here we are comparing. We're saying what's the same between the news article and the documentary film. Here we're saying what's different. We're contrasting. What's different between the news article and the documentary film? Okay. So I'm going to pause the video and give you guys a couple minutes to answer this and this. You might need to write it to the left under your notes. Next section we have language and writer's craft, sentence variety. This is supposed to help you make your writing better by using complex or compound sentences. So we're going to go through this quickly and hopefully you can apply this in your writing. It says, using a variety of sentence structures is important to emphasize and connect ideas as a way to create reader interest. Writing that contains many sentences of the same pattern bores both the writer and the reader. So you want to make sure that you have different sentence types. Add variety and clarity by experimenting with different sentence structures. For example, we have simple sentences. Note that these two simple sentences do not show a connection between ideas. Advertisers are concerned about kids. Advertisers want kids to buy their products. So you want it to flow a little more. Compound sentence. Note that the relationship is now established between advertisers and kids. Advertisers care about kids, but they are more concerned that kids buy their products. So which sentence is better, the compound sentence or the simple sentence? Here was example 1, this was the simple sentence. Here's example 2, the compound sentence. Which one is better? Please discuss this with your shoulder partner. Be prepared to share. Okay, I'm going to pause the video. Then we have complex sentence. Complex sentence says, even though advertisers say they care about kids, they are more concerned about selling their products to kids. Which one is better now? complex sentence, compound sentence, or a simple sentence. So here was the final one, the complex. Which one is better? Talk with your shoulder partner, and then we are going to share an answer. I am going to pause the video. Next, we have practice. You're going to combine the following simple sentences into compound and complex sentences to show more connections between the ideas. So here are our simple sentences. You are going to take these 3 bullets. So we're taking these 3, and we are going to make them complex or compound. So I'm going to add a sticky note next to this. Okay, please number your learning targets. I'm sorry, number your sentences. You have 3 bullets here. So you should have a 1, a 2, and a 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You're going to take number 1, this one, number 2, this one, and number 3. You're going to try to make these complex and compound sentences. The first one says, advertisers know that children influence what parents buy. Children are the target of advertisers. How can you take these 2 sentences and make it complex or compound? So on the right in your margin under notes, you are writing either a complex sentence or a compound sentence. Okay, your second bullet, you're doing the same thing. You're going to write either a complex sentence or a compound sentence. It would help if I could spell. Okay, your third one, you're writing a complex sentence or a compound sentence. Okay, so I'm going to give you, I think that you could write these 3 underneath or to the side in, I think, 3 minutes. So let's try 3 minutes. And if we need to, we can pause it and give you a little more time. Okay, ready, set, go. Okay, so that was, hopefully we were able to get complex or compound sentences. Who can share what they have? I'm going to pause the video and ask for people to share. Okay, writing to compare and contrast. To make comparisons between two things, you would mention both in your topic sentence. A sample topic sentence. Please put your finger on the sample topic sentence. It says, both the myth of choice, how junk food marketers target our kids, and marketing to kids, and then they have ellipses, emphasize the importance of children as targets for advertisers. But marketing to kids gets more savvy, includes more personal examples. Okay, that is their sample topic sentence. Transitions. To compare and contrast the text, use words or phrases as transitions between the ideas from each text. So based off this sample topic sentence, which one do you think this person liked more? Do you think they liked the documentary film? Or do you think they liked the news article? So this was the documentary film that we watched in class. And then this one was the news article. Which one do you think they liked more? Okay. I'm going to call in a couple people. All right. After that, we had, for comparison and contrast, it says similarly, on the other hand, in contrast, although, like, unlike, same as, in the same way, nevertheless, likewise, by contrast, conversely, however. You should be using those for comparing and contrasting. I also gave you a list in your composition notebook that has a compare and contrast column. So I do need you to get out your composition notebook, look at your compare and contrast column, and so I'm going to give you a couple minutes to get situated, and then we're going to start the conclusion. Okay, then it says, for a conclusion, you should be using things like as a result, finally, last, in conclusion, in summary, all in all. In your composition notebook, you should have this piece of paper. I hope you have it because it is like gold, and it sits up here on my podium if you need another one. But on this piece of paper, you should have different words that you could be using throughout your essay. And let's see, the first one, you could be using words like this initiates, or this pinpoints, this reasons throughout your essay, okay? So make sure you're using that. You have conclusion words, you have comparing and contrasting words, but make sure you're using those power verbs after your quotes. All right. Next, examples. On the other hand, some parents have started to limit the amount of television their toddlers watch each day. All in all, most parents of toddlers agree that they will start regulating the number of hours their children spend in front of a screen. Your expository writing prompt, you're going to write 3 paragraphs comparing and contrasting the documentary and the news article in your composition notebook or on the class blog. Today I couldn't get the computers, so we're just doing it in our composition notebooks. But it says write a paragraph in which you compare information from the film to information from the article you read. What information is similar? What is different? Be sure to introduce your topic clearly, use transitional words and phrases to show comparison and contrast, which are the words right above. Use formal style and precise language. Provide a concluding statement that follows and supports the explanation. So you want to make sure that you're using these compare and contrast words. You're also using your concluding words, and you're using this after quotes. Okay, ready, set, go.